A Halfling Sonder, Sven's Story, by Illyria Valischin. Holding his breath for a few moments, he watches the wall closely for any signs of the poison's destruction, worried that he may have missed his mark and instead gone completely through to the other side. Just as he is about to curse the endeavor from digging out the side of the restaurant, only to fail. A glimmer of blue catches his eyes. Looking closer now, he watches as a slow-moving foam starts to expand out of the little holes around the larger one. Silvery black dots scatter out in all directions as the beetles try to save themselves from the death that is slowly filling their home. While they are fleeing, the smell of the poison begins to seep out. Watching all the holes, he looks for the largest beetle, knowing that the queens were always the largest ones, something his father had taught him when he was little. Frantically, he searches through the dots, only able to find the next queens to be. The beetles running every which way, making it seem like a puddle of silvery black liquid is filling into the hole. Thousands of them pouring down at his feet as he scoops and looks, trying to find the elusive queen. However, he is unable to find the largest beetle in the puddle. The thought now crossing his mind that she could have been covered by the poison and died in one of the tunnels. Feeling that it is futile to continue searching, he climbs out of the hole and fills it back in, compressing the dirt down onto the flow of beetles, making sure to help support the wall as well. Bending over, he retrieves the bottle and the straws, carrying them both back to the tannery, returning them to the counter, then walks over to the sink and washes his hands thoroughly. Looking over his shoulder as he dries them off, he gives another good evening to Mr. Leatherthimble, who in turn nods his head but doesn't stop his work. Leaving once more, he lets out a deep sigh as the cool evening air helps him relax. He reaches into his pack and pulls out the small jar of salve. Opening it carefully, he dips a finger in. Scooping up a tiny amount, he quickly smears it on the back of his hand, then screws the lid tightly before returning it to his pack, rubbing his hands with the cooling mint ointment, allowing for it to ease the painful blisters covering his palms. Unsure of what to do next, Sven finds himself not really willing to head home and face his parents with another night of questions, when a hand slaps across his back. "Hey," Fritz says happily. "What you been up to today?" "Working." Sven holds up his battered hands. "Lots and lots of working. Doesn't feel like I have time for anything else," as his head droops down. "Well, that's a shame, man. Wanna come have some dinner with me at Sherry's?" Fritz smiles at the mention of his mother. "She made some pies today." He gives a wink to Sven. "Yeah." Sven perks up hearing about food. It would be nice to have a treat after this long day. "Good." Fritz gives Sven a slight punch to the arm before continuing on. "So you found a place to work now. You must be happy." "I don't know if Mr. Leatherthimble is going to keep me on, with all that is going on." Sven walks sluggishly beside Fritz. "What do you mean? It's not like it's all your fault." Fritz looks over a bit confused. "I mean, did you break anything important like that watch?" Shivering at the memory, Sven shakes his head. "No. But still, sometimes people don't think about that. I am working as hard as I can. I just hope it shows. Just wish I had more time to do." He pauses and looks over his shoulder before continuing on. "Some chasing of my own." Fritz immediately perks up and looks to Sven rather excitedly. "Oh, you finally found a girl. Have you? Which one, Sue?" Sven shakes his head. "Not Sue." "Who?" Fritz begins to bounce up and down. "Swear to me you won't tell anyone." "I just started." Sven gives him a warning glare. Fritz grins widely, half honors. He crosses his fingers over his heart. Sven looks around once more before whispering, "If you tell, and it goes bad for me, I will never speak to you or Cleo again." Making sure that Fritz understands the threat, he utters out, "Willa." Fritz's eyes brighten. "Willa? Really? What about Kerp?" Sven shrugs his shoulders. "It's not up to him. It's up to her. If it wasn't me, it was going to be." He gives a repulsed shudder. "Well, you know, him out in the trash heap. This makes Fritz stop immediately to look at Sven in utter horror. No why. Thank you for listening to my story. If you liked it, please like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications.